To get started, on-camera makeup is all about being clean and fresh and natural. So no matter what character you're going for or what look you're going for, you can always have a base to start. I'm gonna start off with my Shiseido eye cream. This has an SPF of 34, so it's great just to use every day. But why I really like it for on camera is because it really brightens my under eye and moisturizes them. It's just a great base, so I highly recommend it. I am just going to put this under my under eyes just to get started. Now that that's done, I am going to take my NARS Creamy Concealer and clean up any brow hairs I missed. This is a really good trick for on camera. So I'm just gonna take this and put it under my eyebrow. This is gonna cover up any loose hairs that I don't want to be there and just make my look overall cleaner. I'm also gonna take this and put it on my eyelid because I'm very fair, just to even it out. My eyebrows are my most prominent feature, so that's something I want to highlight to make me stand out. So I'm gonna start with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I use soft brown. I've done my brow routine several times on my channel before, so I'm not gonna get super into it, but I just comb my brows up. I always start by drawing a line across the bottom just to make it even. And the key with on-camera makeup is being natural, because if you go to an audition and they're filming you, you never know what the quality of the camera is, so just looking natural is always the best option. Just creating natural looking brow strokes, I am just filling in my brows. If you want to see my full brow routine, I will link it down below. I actually recently just did one. It's super easy, and I give some tips about how to grow out your brows as well. Just to make them even more natural looking, I am just combing them out with the spoolie on the end one last time. And now I'm gonna move on to eyes. Since my skin looks so bad, I really want to do that last just to focus on it. I'm taking my Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. It's an okay primer, does the job, but the Urban Decay one is my favorite. I just ran out of it and I'm being super cheap and not replacing any of my makeup until everything else is gone. I take my ring fingers and I rub them together and I just dab it onto my eyelid just to prep them. I'm using my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette today. I feel like I use this all the time. I'm gonna take this vanilla color. I'm gonna kind of use it as powder just to brighten and set the brow bone, especially under bright lights. If you have oily skin, it can be a bit of a nightmare. When I was a teenager and I would be on sets, the makeup artist would always hate me so much because I had the most oily, acne-prone skin ever. Thankfully, with Accutane, it got under control, but it would always be a nightmare because after every take, they would have to powder my face, and by the end of the day, I looked like a clown. It was just not a good look. Next, I'm going into the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, and you can use any palette, but I just want to use this color Zone, which is a really soft neutral brown color. Now that that's done, I'm going back into this palette, taking the same vanilla shade, which is called White Peach, by the way. I put it on my pinky and I am just brightening up the inner corner of my eyelid. For my lid, I'm going to be taking this matte shade called Peaches and Cream. It's a really pretty satiny neutral shade. Now to define my crease and define my almond shaped eyes, I'm going to take this dark color Punk. Taking the same fluffy brush, I'm putting a little tiny bit of that on and just taking any excess off. I'm gonna build this up in the outer corner, so I'm just swirling it in the outer V of my eye until I'm satisfied with how it looks, and I am just running it back and forth in my crease. With shades like this, it's really important to use less and to add more later because they can really darken up and smoke up your eye really quickly. So you just want to be careful with that. That's done. Now I'm going to move on to liquid liner. A lot of people don't wear liquid liner for audition. I just find that it makes my eyes look so much better. So I am, because again, this is just about me knowing my face. This is the NYX Studio liquid liner and I hate it actually. I ran out of my Kat Von D ink liner, which is what I would recommend, but my New Year's resolution was to be cheaper. So I'm just trying to use this up. I really do not recommend it. I know some people love it, but it gets everywhere and takes forever to dry. So I'm just going to draw a really thin line. I'm not creating a wing or anything. I'm just going to use this little brush, and I feel like I have to focus really hard with this. So I'm gonna do that off camera. I did my eyeliner off camera, but instead of going straight to mascara, I'm gonna get to skin now because I wanna do mascara last just in case I mess up. So first I'm gonna start with a really natural looking foundation. This is the L'Oreal True Match. I absolutely love this one. Very luminous, but I think it just makes the skin look very healthy and fresh. So I'm gonna be taking this on my Morphe foundation brush. This is the M439. And I just take a little bit and I just put it wherever. I have really bad breakouts right now, but you will see momentarily that it will blur them all out. Foundation is done, so as you can see, it's not perfect, but I took down quite a lot of the redness. I'm gonna conceal all of my spots with the same concealer and also my under eyes. This is kind of an odd technique, but what I like to do is take some translucent powder and load it up on my Expert Face brush from Real Techniques, and I'll just use this spot here for an example, blend it out, and as soon as I blend it out, before any of the oil or anything settles, I just pack it on. Which looks kind of nuts right now, but as you blend it out, it just covers everything up perfectly and keeps your skin really matte. So I'm just going to continue to do that over the rest of my face, including my under eyes. And I just kind of do it as I go, which is probably a kind of strange technique, but it really helps me just to lock it in really quickly. So I'm gonna finish that up and get back to you when I'm done. My base is done, so as you can see, it looks really fresh and really natural, but at the same time, it doesn't look cakey at all, which is what I'm really going for. I want a little bit of warmth and a little bit of sculpt to my skin, so I'm going to be taking my Sephora Los Cabos bronzer and swirling a little bit of that on the same brush. I am just going to sculpt my cheekbones, pulling my hairline back just to make sure that it is all blended in there so it looks natural. There's nothing worse than a stripe of bronzer. You really just want to make sure, like almost every other makeup product I'm talking about in this video, that you build it up. A little bit of that in my temple, just where the sun would naturally hit my face. For blush, I'm not going to use a lot because I know it shows up kind of funky on low quality cameras. So I'm going to be using my NARS Orgasm blush. It's just a really beautiful pink fleshy color. A tip I found that's really important with blush is you don't want to smile when you're putting on blush, because when you smile, when your face drops or you're making a serious expression, your blush is gonna fall. So just to make yourself look natural and young, you just want to put it on your natural cheeks and the expression you're going to be making the most throughout the day. Now, I don't want a lot of highlight because that is pretty distracting, especially if you have oily skin. So I'm going to be using a tiny bit of my Prosecco Pop from Becca, and I'm just going to put it on the tip of my nose, like right here, and the highest point of my cheekbones, because these are features that I really want to stand out. And I also don't want my face to look one-dimensional on camera, so this just really helps with that. I'm going to be taking the same eyeshadow brush I've been using this whole time that has color smoked on it. I'm just going to pinch it and run it over my lower lash line just to smoke it out and give it some dimension. I'm going to be taking the Ben Nye Espresso eye pencil and very lightly running that under my eye. I'm smoking this out a little tiny bit. I just find that putting a little bit of this makes my eyes look more open. I'm finally getting to mascara. I'm going to be using L'Oreal Lash Paradise. This separates my lashes so well and they don't get clumpy at all, and they just stay lifted all day, so I don't have to worry about touching it up at all. Moving on to lips, I'm going to be taking Salsa from Ben Nye. It's a really natural kind of Your Lips But Better color. I'm just kind of rubbing that into my lips. I just want it to be a pretty and natural flush. Now, these are the last steps that are the most important, just to tame any flyaways or look as clean as possible. So I'm going to be taking Glossier Boy Brow and brushing my brow hairs up so they stay in place all day. And last but not least, for my hair, I am taking the holy grail of on-camera products. This is the Kristen S Soft Shine Beach Spray. And this is the best if you have thick, unruly hair and you need to tame flyaways. This is the only thing that's ever worked for me. And I don't like my hair volumized. I really want to tame it down and make it look shiny and neat and clean for this look. So I'm going to be taking this and just pulling my hair, and I'm spraying the top of it and then just smoothing it down. And then now I'm doing that with the bottom part of my hair. This makes my hair so shiny and just look so neat and clean and pretty. Like, look at that. I just love it. This side compared to this side already, you can see it's just astronomically better. I'm gonna do this side as well, just the same thing. Last but not least, for my hair, I'm taking Glossier Boy Brow again. And this is a little tip for flyaways, just for my baby hairs. I am just combing them back. And any hairs that I think are, you know, out of place, I'm just going to And finally, this is my on-camera audition makeup look. Little things like taming down your hair and not having super shiny skin while still making it look natural are difficult techniques to master, and just with trial and error, these are the products I found have really helped me for my auditions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what else you want to see on my channel, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!